Morning, Soul Family. Well, it's a busy, busy day. I was up pretty much half the night with my animal messengers talking to me, and I know what they were telling me, but it's like, what do you want me to do with it? You want me to do something with it? So finally I thought, okay, fine, I'll just do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to get any sleep here. So if it's not my dreams themselves, it's my animal messengers. And remember what I told you. I trust the animal messengers more than I trust anything. But it's not when, it's when I see them. It's when they come to me. And it's when they come to me, and if they are delivered to me by someone, it better come from someone that I trust 100% implicitly, or it doesn't mean anything to me. So no one can fool me by sending me an animal messenger to send me a message, right? You can't fool me. I am the red hawk and I am the great horned owl. So I see past the illusion and through the illusion and past the deception. But I had the owl speaking to me last night and this morning. So today, like I said, busy, busy bees, right? Everyone's working. Everyone's trying to get stuff done. Somebody must be building a house down there, or maybe they're clearing off somebody's property. I know someone's building a house across the lake, but I feel it's kind of it sounds like a chipper, like a wood chipper. So cleaning up maybe some of the fallen debris. It's kind of like get your house in order, right? Clean up your own backyard before you go into someone else's. Okay, so, ooh, yay! I brought my rose bush back out here, right? It wasn't doing well when it was up here, and now that it's in the shade, it's interesting. Roses normally like the sun, but this is a little delicate one, and it's doing really, really well. And my rosemary's growing. So the moonflower already opened and died. It's like a one-hit wonder. We got another one though. That'll probably open within the next couple nights. Ooh, and I've got little bugs that are trying to bother. And look at Mr. Rosewood. He's been reaching so far towards the light. He wants the light, and he's doing strong now. He's strong now. Even in this pot, he's thought, you know what? I know where I need to go. I need to reach to the light, and until I can get grounded, you know, planted where I'm supposed to go, I know that I will survive, and I'll be strengthening myself, getting myself ready as long as I reach to the light. So good job. Good job. Everyone's doing well. Look at this. So what they want is they want indirect light. They don't want to be having like the burning hot sun beating down on them, right? But when they have, and check it out, look at my petunias. They're coming back, right? Those stinking caterpillars that were feeding on it, feasting on them, they're doing well too. So everybody's doing well. And look at this. Growth, brand new growth, shoots, new shoots on the top of my cacti. So everybody, this has gotten bigger. This is almost twice the size as it was. So it's indirect, you know, it's plenty of bright light. And look at Lily's grass. She's super excited. She's been eating that. So it's light. They want the bright light, right? But they don't want the beating sun down on them. So don't beat down on me. Just give me the light. That's our message. All right, so today, I did a reading last night. And I was going to release it today, and I thought, nah, you know what? That was my reading. It was for me. You know how I said that I should really do a reading for myself? And I will tell you, yesterday, remember how Spirit took my own words and smacked me? Right? That's what happens. I start out in a crappy mood, or I start out with an attitude, or I start out with frustration or anger, or whatever it is, you know? All the stuff that we get with our ego mind, we all get it, right? And then within moments, Spirit turns me around with the messages that we all got. So something happened. Well, what was going on last night got me to that place again. And it's funny how it creeps up on you and you don't realize, right? That you're shifting, that you're being affected. Somebody said something, I got some information, and it totally threw me sideways. And I was out of my higher self and into my Aries dragon. I was not being Puff the Magic Dragon either. I was being the Aries ram with a dragon tongue. So I did a reading And actually the reading was really good. But it's straightened me out again, right? So for me, the message that I'm getting for us all today is be very careful what you listen to, right? You've got your mind set on something, and somebody can come along and say something and completely stick a fork in your spoke and flip you right off your bike. So be very careful. And it's interesting because it'll come from somebody that you know. It would only happen if it comes from somebody you either respect or know is connected. Now, what I found was my information came from a reader who is very, very connected. I know this person, they were dead accurate because they were absolutely confirming what I had gotten myself. I told you that's the only reason I listen, is to get confirmation, because I don't ask others for my answers. And, but what they chose, they got the information. So here's the difference between a spiritual teacher and a reader. I am a reader, but I am a spiritual teacher. So my path is love. My path is all about love. It's all about us ascending to the highest level. And that only happens when we embrace our love completely, right? No matter who we're dealing with, no matter what the circumstance. So he got the exact same information as I got. And his advice was cut it off, block it, end it. They'll go away, right? And that's not what my heart was telling me. My soul said something different. My soul was telling me, you're a healer and you're a teacher. And yes, that's true. You could do that and that would happen. But would that help anyone? Would that, and you know what? And in the reading yesterday, remember I said that for me and my part, my mom made it really clear to me that for me and my part, it doesn't matter why someone's doing something or who they are or what their intention is. I, for my part, choose peace. I choose love. And maybe, and I said to Spirit, I would love to be used to be able to sway another's perspective towards love. I would love to be able to be used that way. But if I don't accomplish that with my attitude or the way that I come across, then at the very least, that person will see I'm not afraid of them and that I'm a worthy adversary, and they'll just drop it. You know what? It's like, just let it go. Remember I said, just let someone go. Let it happen. So that's what happened. It was just dropped. And yet, when I listened to that person, they whipped me up, you know, and because what people do often, and this is a test, this is our test, we get it often. Are you going to allow your ego to get involved and override your higher self and what your heart is telling you? Or are you going to remain humble and teachable? What are you going to do? We get a choice. Also, are you going to focus on the negative or are you going to focus on the positive? Because we get a choice with that too. So, my own reading last night smacked me in line. And I got to tell you, the decks that I'm using today are the Shapeshifters, the Shadows and Light, the Magdalene, or the Magdalene Oracle, and the new one that I don't actually really love. What's it called? The Alice, the Wonderland. And then we're going to clarify with the messages from the Fairies. And I was thinking in my head, wouldn't it be cool if, and no, I said the reason I'm using Shadows and Light, even though right now I'm wanting to pull more positive energy, and often Shadows and Light is all, you know, about subterfuge and misleading information and protection and blah, blah, blah. You know, because it's uncovering the shadows, right? It's throwing light on the shadow. But I said the reason that I want to use this deck is because I haven't got my energy in it yet. I want to put my energy, and that's why I kept shuffling. As I'm sitting here, I'm shuffling, and getting my energy moving through these cards. And also, the reason that I have these two decks, the reason I bought them again, was because each deck was missing one particular card. And maybe we would get that card. And so the reading, it was all nailed. It was aggressive. It was strong. It was, and I had an attitude through the whole reading. I totally did. And I knew I did. And I didn't care. And that's another message. Sometimes we know. Sometimes we're given our information and we don't care because we're being petty or we're being human, right? We're being human. We're being hurt. we're being frustrated, we're being tired, we're being whatever it is, because we are very powerful spirit creatures, but we are also wearing these human suits, and we have limitations, you know? We're not going to do it all perfect. We are going to feel angry. We are going to get jealous. We are going to get hurt, right? It's going to happen. We are going to get depressed. We are going to get sad. So I was laughing because I was fighting the messages, even though I was the one delivering them. And then the very last message, I said after it was all done, okay, give me a message for all of us. And it was the card that had gone missing under the boat. That was the one that came out, and it was the Heart of Hope. And I thought, all right, you know, you got kicked in the butt all through this whole reading. Are you going to finally give it up? Are you going to concede? And so I did. Okay, so today, you know what we're going to use today? We're going to use a cactus to hold us up, because I think people are feeling a little bit prickly right now. And what's interesting about this cactus, see how he's leaning? He's like a guy, and he's like, I surrender, right? I surrender. Okay already. Surrender. Oh, wait a minute. I've got 3 arms, except, or do I have a penis sticking up here? Have I been led by my penis? Now think about that, right? Think about that. Was I thinking with the wrong with the wrong head? Interesting. When I found this little guy, he was just a little round nub. He was probably twice this. He was kind of like this. He was this tall. He wasn't quite that fat. He was about down there. Oh, maybe he was. I think he was about just like that. And he was on the road in Sedona, and he had been on the path on my hiking trail, and he kept getting kicked around by everybody. And I thought, you know what? He's not going to do well like that. He needs to be loved. So I brought him home, and I put him in a bag, a plastic bag with some dirt, and I kept him with me for the whole trip. And when I came home, I planted him. And look how tall he's grown, and he's got a family now. But what's so cool about this is I've left him down there, and he's been reaching for the light. They all reach. Anything that wants to grow reaches for the light. That's their message. So when I put him back down, I'm going to have to face him like this, because then he will reach that way. I can straighten him out by putting him to where he has to reach for the light. And that's what Spirit's doing to us. They straighten us out by showing us, you know, look, you're leaning. You're going to fall over. You're getting crooked. You're bent. You're all bent. So how do you straighten yourself back out, Sherry? You lean back towards the light. And what does the light say? What would love say? What would love do? Right? Okay. So these are our totems. I guess I could have showed you guys before, but I didn't. So these are the items we're going to choose from. You're going to choose from this rusty spring. And you might think to yourself, why would I choose a rusty spring? Because it's very useful. It might be rusty, but it's strong. It's already open, right? It's already open. It's willing to accept, which is what we're supposed to be, open, ready, and willing to receive, right? It's come full circle. It recognizes that everything is it's just part of our journey, right? It started out here, and now it's climbing higher and higher. It's ascending. It's gone around a few times, and it's wise. This is very useful. Even if we have a bit of rust on us, which means, I mean, maybe we're older, right? And we're not as closed off as we once were. We're open. We've gone around a few times. You know what it reminds me of? That makes me think of that song, I Ain't No Hollaback Girl. You know, I've been around the block a few times. I'm not as naive as you think. This is a powerful one to choose, and for that, I'm choosing that one. Then we have the Ladybug Clothes Peg. I freaking love this. First of all, we all know that the Ladybug says your wishes will be fulfilled, and count the numbers on the back. That's how many wishes will be fulfilled. 5. It's also, listen to how busy everyone is today. Everyone's competing. Well, they're not going to get what, you know, everyone's competing for a love they won't receive. They can compete all they want. So, 5, a significant change is occurring in your life, always for the better. Good idea to call upon Spirit for help with these changes. So is this you? Are you wishing for something? Well, you better turn around, because you're going the wrong way, right? This is where you got to grab on your face and stop running away from what you need to do. Sometimes it's work, sometimes it's self-examination, but you need to hold on. You need to stop running away. You need to hold on. So for that, I'm choosing this one too. And then we have Gumby and Pokey. I don't know if you guys saw my reading, my little upload last night on my personal page, but I ordered these from my best friend Diane in Wisconsin. She has an antique store. It's called Door County Traders. It's the most awesome antique store. I would love to own that. I've always loved to have that, something like that. That's my idea of fun, right? But I saw them and they came through her store and they were like brand new. She had little tiny ones and then she had these original ones. And I'm like, no, I don't want the copies. No, I want the originals. So here's Gumby and Pokey, best friends. Gumby, he's very bendable, right? He's been pulled in all kinds of different directions. And Pokey, it's taken a long time to get where he's going. But together, they make it. They stick together like glue because they're best friends. And horse represents forward movement and assistance, meaning you don't have to do it all yourself. And Gumby's smart enough to understand that. That Pokey's got things that he doesn't have, and he can help him out. All right, so those are your items. Which ones you want to choose from? We're gonna start with the Rusty Spring, the coil. This is really helpful for me, actually. I use this to hold one of my bird, that reminds me, my hummingbird feeder. These are really handy. And I like the fact that it's already open like that. Actually, you know what this held? You know what this held? This held my happy Buddha, who wasn't so happy. Remember my Buddha, who wasn't doing well? He had a crack in his head. It's because the sun was beating down on him, so I moved him to where there's fresh air, where I can see him from my workspace, and where the sun is not beating down on his head anymore. And I hear him a lot more when he's there, right by me. And now the Native American dream catcher is there. It's going to catch all of those black widows, keep them from coming into my dreams and into my life. Alrighty, so it's 17 minutes and 12 seconds, we start. And you guys, whoa, that was really clear. We begin. Didn't I say everybody are busy bees? Everybody's getting after the work. They're getting the work done, right? Which is awesome message, because the first message I get looking at that is victory. The bees represent victory, but it's everyone's getting busy. They're doing their own work, and that's the thing. You take care of you, and I'll take care of me. Remember, don't come into my yard and tell me to clean it up. You clean up your own yard, and that's what everybody's doing. I've done that. I've cleaned up my own yard, right? I take my lessons. I take my smacks from Spirit. Everything's starting to grow really well. Everything. Every single thing that wasn't growing well is growing well now. So get busy and get after the honey, whatever it represents to you. And the number 6 is reminding you, which seems to be a theme here for everybody, because we get it constantly. Stop worrying so much about the material world. Stop worrying about finances. Stop worrying about what anyone thinks. Stop worrying about what's going on or having to figure it out. We don't have to figure it out. Spirit can figure it out. That's our mistake, is thinking that we have to figure it out. And as a private detective, that's something that is a hard lesson for me. So, the other message for Fairy is that you are having your health restored. Like I said about my happy Buddha up there, had that sun cracking down on his head. That divine masculine was beating down on him so heavily that it cracked his head. Now, that could have been his own message, right? His own self. He was beating himself up. A lot of times it's our own self that does it, right? Self-imposed prison, self-imposed abuse, self-imposed negative thinking. But he was moved to a place where he had fresh air moving through, new thoughts, new energy, a safer location, right? And somebody helped him. He didn't do it by himself. He was moved. So this is talking about your health being restored. Now, it could be mental health, it could be spiritual health, it could be physical health. But the number 6 speaks to us about what I spoke about, but the number 8 is what's represented in the body of the bee. The number 8 talks about the infinite supply of whatever it is that you need. As long as you go to Spirit and stick with Spirit, you will be taken care of. there will be an infinite supply of anything that you require, because Spirit knows what you truly need more than what we think we need. What we think is important sometimes isn't. Also, you think about the bee, and the bee is, of course, like the hummingbird, aerodynamically incorrectly built. They've got this bulbous little body and these tiny little wings, and they shouldn't be able to fly. But not only can they fly, but when they fly, they pollinate all the flowers, they grab all the sweetness in life, they carry all that pollen on their legs, they carry a lot of weight. And they're hard workers. They're a respectful totem to have. When you think about what the bee collects, they collect pollen, they get after the honey, get busy and get after the honey, right? Honey is useful in so many different things. Honey can be an antiseptic, so it's about using sweetness of words instead of bitter words, right? Honey can be an antiseptic. You get more from honey than you do from vinegar. Also, the bees symbolize abundance, which again, of course, the number 8 is telling you you are infinitely supplied. But the bee here is asking you a question. Are you hung up in sadness, self-pity? Have you been asking yourself where the sweetness in your life has gone? Why does everybody else got a harvest and I don't? Feels to you that there is no happiness and sunshine. Are you in that dark place? Well, Spirit says if you are, it's your own doing. You've denied it yourself, just like the happy Buddha up there. He's always had the ability to be happy. He chose not to be. So you're the one. You've turned away from nature, from the natural way of being, from the way Spirit wanted you to be, coming from a place of love. You've turned away from that. So now, in order for you to spend, or to return to that, you've got to spend your time in different places, like my happy Buddha. He's in a nice place now. He's comfortable. I'm just watching Mission Impossible right now. It's really interesting. I'm watching this little spider. I wonder if you guys can catch it because it's so little. And he's just, where did he go now? He's already dropped down to the ground. It's so cool to watch them drop. You know, they literally go down like Ethan Hawke, little at a time, and then they drop again, drop again. It's cool to watch him. He kind of, oh, there he is. There he is. Let's see if I can, how can I get it so that you guys can see him? It's so cool because 1 second they're there and then they disappear. There it is. Can you see him going right, you can see him going across in front of the white poles. He's swinging. I gotta remember that he's there so I don't rip into him. Okay, so let's get back to this. You're the one that's got to get back, right? You got to get back and move yourself. Move yourself from the location that you are. You're not in a good location, clearly, to make you happy. So it may be a physical move. It may be a mental move. It may be a job move. You need to get yourself back to where you can grab the sweetness in life. You need to spend time with plants, with flowers. Spend time in nature. You've been too long inside, away from the reality of what brings you happiness. And it's not money. It's not working hard to get the almighty buck or the raise or the position. It's about understanding the gifts that we actually have, and they're free. The beauty of nature that's there for us. You have not spent enough time outside. Maybe you need some sun on you, vitamin D. Maybe you need to get some fresh air in your lungs and away from a city. Maybe you just need to get some fresh perspective and away from the toxic energy you've been around. But you're never going to get that feeling of safety from things. So recognize that sunshine hasn't gone away. The flowers haven't stopped blooming. You've just stopped looking for them. So it's about looking for the sweetness in life. Because things have been tough for you for a while. Maybe you've really been in a horrible place. Or you've been working, and you've been struggling to get somewhere, and you just can't find your way into the stream. Like, where's the vortex? I want to get into the stream and ride it, right? I'd be happy to do that. Well, the bee is telling you, we will show you where to go. We'll show you how to find the sweetness. We'll show you who is pollinating that honey. Right? The right people, the right connections. Spirit's telling you that being busy is good. Being productive is good. But sometimes it's too much. And so at the end of this really busy time, And you know what? Busy's probably about to come to you, because that's what seems to happen. You know, you work towards something, that's already exhausting you, but then all of a sudden everything comes about. Like I just said, all of a sudden everything's blooming, right? Flowers are out, everything's growing, boom, boom, boom. So when things grow, then you got to start rearranging, right? Things change in a different way. Now you've got all these dreams, things that you've been asking for, and everything happens all at once. And that can be overwhelming. So at the end of that busyness, that feeling that you were left out and you didn't know where the sweetness was and you weren't getting your harvest, well, that is going to be gone, right? You will experience the abundance for all of your hard work. And that's what this message is about. They're also telling you to explore everything to do with flowers. Flower essences, flower essential oils. I've been putting, and it can be plants as well. Yesterday I put rosemary oil on. There was something about rosemary that I needed, right? So flower remedies would help you at this time. But if you listen to the bees, they'll show you where the honey that you need is. They'll tell you what they mean. Just pay attention to the bee. That's your message. That's your totem. They're going to show you something. And for all of you, we'll all be shown in a different way. Spirit wants you to spend at least 10 minutes a day outside. You can do that. You can open your freaking office window and put your face up to the sun and close your eyes for 10 minutes. Yes, you can. Everyone gets a break. Stop and smell the flowers. Taste the honey. Maybe you need to taste the honey, period. Honey's really good to put in your lemon, for a hot lemon for a drink to soothe your throat. Maybe you're having a difficult time speaking nice words. Maybe you're having a difficult time speaking at all. So lemon and honey would help you. All right, let's see what your little message is from the magical messages from the fairies. Now, as you know, you heard me. I was shuffling all the time, but right before I go again, I want to shuffle because I feel like they're stale. Because I want fresh energy moving through it, right? So for right now, at this moment, because at the beginning of this reading, you may have been thinking one thing. But right now, your thinking may be shifted in some way. Your perspective may be shifted. Maybe you're focusing on something different. So now, whatever would have been in this deck and the message dropped down needs to be altered. Things change really quick. Well, there you go. So if you've been worrying about money, don't worry. We've been told not to worry anyway. Sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the grease. The rusty spring, the busty bed spring. Right? I was heard. So debt paid off. All the weight that you've been carrying over your shoulders, the worry, the stress, and tension in your neck and in your back. There's been no reason for it because Spirit is straight up saying to you, your debt's going to be paid off. Now, yesterday we were talking about how do we change our perspective? It's by saying it. Thank you. Thank you for the abundance. Thank you for bringing in that financial flow. Thank you for increasing it. Thank you for bringing me the loan. Thank you for paying off my debt. Thank you for giving me enough money to take a break comfortably and have surplus in the bank. I've worked for it. I deserved it. I earned it. And I appreciate it. That's what we say. But there's going to be an impressive shift in your financial situation. That's what Spirit's telling you. Because you don't want to have debt. You said, I don't want to deal with this. And I'm going to trust you. So the universe has listened. And we're going to be given opportunities in order to help us reduce whatever our financial worries are. It could be new income coming in. It could be an opportunity. It could be advice about how to reduce your spending. You know, I got to tell you something. This is different. I was talking about tiny homes, right? I was looking at tiny homes. And something came up this morning on my YouTube channel that brought me back to reality. I don't want a tiny home. They're too small. I don't want to live in a box. Thank you. Tiny homes are smaller than my studio. You know, I'm not going to go smaller than I already have. I deserve better than that. So what they showed me was what I originally wanted. What did I always originally say? I wanted that cottage. I want a cottage. And this video popped up and it was saying how there are so many cottages throughout the country that are adorable. They have more space than a tiny home and they're less expensive than a tiny home. Tiny homes can be really expensive, you know? So think about that. Maybe you were thinking, well, I need to go small. I should go tiny home. Well, you know, you could get a smaller cottage, like an actual structure with more room, with more character, with land, and it's going to be cheaper. Think about that. So, in order for you to change your financial perspective and situation, yes, Spirit's going to help you, give you ideas. But one of the ways is to make a decision that you're going to be debt-free, which of course comes with, don't be buying things on credit cards. Don't be filling up your credit card. That's probably why I stopped myself from getting that iPad the other day. You know, I thought, well, I don't have any debt. I could put it on this credit card. And I didn't like the feeling. That's like I don't like any debt hanging over me. I don't have debt. I'm debt-free. So I decided not to do it. Besides, I decided afterwards, I don't want to go down to an iPad. I don't want something that small. I like my MacBook. I want a brand new Mac, and that's what I said yesterday. You know what? Forget that. I'm not going to chintz out on myself. I deserve something that's comfortable for me, that I like to work with, that's good and reliable. I want a brand new MacBook. So, cut up your debt cards, your debt cards, that's what they are. I have so many friends, so many people that have 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, everywhere you go. Would you like to sign up for a Target, you know, credit card? Would you like to start? No thanks. No thanks. Everywhere I go. Do you want a credit card? No thanks. I'm not an idiot. If I don't have the money, I don't spend it. Now, my intention is I'm going to get a brand new Mac, an Apple book. I want that. That's what I have. Mine's very old. It's almost 8 years old, and I deserve a new one. So the universe knows that. We'll figure it out. But I'm certainly not putting it on a credit card. So question yourself, you know, is this really necessary? And I thought about that when I was at the Apple store. Is your computer working right now, Sherry? Yes. Is it on its last leg? Does it keep kind of shutting down? Yes. But is it working right now? Yeah. Do you have the money right now for you to throw all that money on that? Not really. Then don't do it. Didn't do it. So don't be impulsive just to buy something. Is it really necessary at this moment? Spirit knows I need that computer working. They'll keep it working as long as I need it. And know that you can be debt-free. We all can. We can all do anything that we set our minds to. There's nothing that we can't do. So you can make a resolution for yourself, just like a New Year's resolution. Well, this is a New Year's resolution about, this is a new resolution about spending. My resolution is to pay cash for what I have. And if I don't have it, I don't buy it. Which is really good for me because I only carry a debit card. So I never have cash in my wallet. So what I buy is my groceries, I buy the necessities, that's it. I used to go buy garage sales all the time, and I love garage sales. I told you I had antique stores, right? And I could see things that were worth a lot, but right now I don't have a business running like that. And so I'm not tempted to buy things because I don't have it. I would have to go back to the bank, make a trip, and I wouldn't do it. So by the time you go do that, I've undone I've lost the desire. So it's also telling you that you should give of your surplus. And you know what? Even when you don't have a lot, when I go get pet food, I give. I donate. Because if you hold on to your money like a miser, even if you've got a lot, I was married to someone who had this mindset that he couldn't go with less than $25,000 in the bank. In savings. And we had to live like misers. And we didn't really get past that. You got to get to the place where you recognize that money is energy and it needs to flow. Just like that happy Buddha was stuck in a place where the energy wasn't flowing, he wasn't doing well, right? He's in a breezeway now where the energy flows. So that means spend a little bit. Even when it's tight, spend a little bit, but in a positive way. It's like when and I know people have a different opinion about this, but if I see somebody that's asking for money, like these two guys, they were trying to get somewhere and they were getting gas, and they were like counting their quarters out, and they were the guy came up and he said, do you have any change? And I didn't. I said, no, I don't. Sorry, I don't carry any cash. And so he said, that's okay. God bless. Have a good day. Thank you. And he walked inside with his coins. So I asked his friend, I said, where are you going? And he goes, Moreno Valley. We just need to get to Moreno Valley. And I said, come here. And I went over with my credit card and I put my credit card in, and I was just going to give him like $10. I was moved to do it. I didn't have a lot of money either. And right then his friend came out and he said, it's okay, we've got it taken care of. And I said, that's okay, I can give it to you. And he goes, no, that's okay. You know what? He goes, I've got enough. I think we'll be able to make it okay. And you know what? That's why my heart pulled me, because that person wasn't a user. I felt that energy. I said, at first I kind of hesitated, and then I thought, no, you know what? These guys are counting out quarters. And everybody's been in that position. And he said, you know, I'm embarrassed. He goes, I don't have my credit card with me, and you know, I thought I had a 20 in my wallet, and I don't. I'm mortified. And I said, you know what? I've been there. So it just depends on the circumstances, right? But when you give, you're definitely blessed. And then they drove away, and this woman drives up, and she rolls down her window, and she says, thank you. And I said, for what? And she said, for helping them. And I said, oh, they didn't accept it. And she said, I saw them in there. They were counting out their quarters, and they don't have far to go. And I just want to let you know it's a really special person that would do that. That was my reward, and I didn't even end up giving them money, you know, but you're blessed when you give. So recognize that Spirit is our source. Whether we are working, and yes, Spirit does expect us to work. We're not supposed to sit in our big chair and expect everybody to owe us a living. That is not the way it works. I work hard for my money, and I deserve it, and you work hard for your money. But Spirit knows our circumstances and knows what we're going through. And when we're in a bind, they know what we need more than we do. So count on Spirit to help you. As long as you stay on your spiritual path and you're doing what's required of you, Spirit backs you up. However, this message, you're about to have some type of financial windfall. I don't know how it is, but it is. So I say right now, and this is my advice to you, say thank you. I don't care how it comes. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. That's freaking awesome. So at 36 minutes, we go to Wishes Fulfilled, right? The ladybug. Now, wishes will be fulfilled, but not by any force on your part. Wishes are being fulfilled as Spirit sees fit, but something that you have been wishing for is about to be fulfilled. So again, you just say, so whatever it is that's been on your heart, just say thank you for bringing me that right now. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. That was a clear message as well. Wow. Okay. I am Callie. From death comes rebirth. Ooh, look at how handy that is. Now, this is interesting, too, the way this is working out. When Callie comes forward, Callie is the goddess of destruction. And you're thinking, oh, great, that's great. Goddess of destruction. But Callie is talking about something you've asked for. It's an ending that you have called in. Whether you realize it or not, there's something in your life you weren't happy with. It wasn't working for you. You weren't happy. And you may not have straight out said, end this situation, but by the other things that you were saying and by the crying that was coming from your heart and your soul, Spirit understood the truth of what was going on and realized something needed to come to an end. And when Callie comes, clearly we know that when something dies, immediately there's a rebirth. It's a death, transformation, rebirth. It takes a little bit. You got to give, Spirit 5 minutes. But recognize the number 13 is the number of patience. 1 and 3 is 4, which means angels. There are angels all around you. You are completely guided, protected, and loved. There's no reason for fear. So whatever this death is, whether it's a metaphorical death, whether there's been a physical death, there has been a rebirth or will shortly be a rebirth. But this necessary destruction that took place might have been painful for you. It might have been scary. It might have been confusing. But it had to happen because Spirit was clearing away what was no longer in your highest good, which meant you and your own higher self. Oh, wow. You guys, from this distance, I wonder if they'll come here. I'm watching 2 black dragonflies. One's giving the other one a piggyback, and they're both the same size, and they're big. They're big. From here, see that palm tree out there? They were halfway between me and that palm tree. So that's where that palm tree is right now, and I could see them from here. Very big. They were big. So somebody, equal partners, one is giving another a lift. Could be giving them a lift as far as encouragement, could be giving them a lift as far as advice, could be physically assisting them, financially, spiritually supporting them, or just being a friend. Wow, and as I say that, but they were equal partners. They were exactly the same size. One was not bigger than the other. Look on the top of that palm frond right there. See the spear? Remember the other day I told you that little dragonfly that was sitting on top of there? He's there again. That's a little dragonfly, but it's passion and it's creativity. So this is showing me that something ended, right? That's what happened. Something ended. Maybe it was your business ended. Something fell apart. But somebody else is going to support you, which means you're going to have another partner, or you have another partner, or you've left one situation for another, and it's someone that's going to support and carry your dreams forward, someone who's more equally suited to you, right? The two partners that I watched going by, one wasn't over the other. They were equally the same size. They were equally of the same, they were vibrating on the same frequency. And this little dragonfly here, this orange one that's sitting up on top of that palm frond, he's looking at things from a higher perspective. And you know, that beginning, it may not be big right now, but it's orange, which is the seat of sexual energy and creativity, sacral color chakra. It's going to grow. It's going to be good. So whatever it was that ended, something better is coming of it. That was amazing. Those two messengers. I want to see those two dragonflies come up here, because they were huge. So they have both grown, right? They are both mature. Spiritually mature, physically no doubt mature. And clearly they were strong. For that one to carry one the same size as him makes me think of that dream that I had. My twin and I, my spiritual twin and I, were running at the beach. Think about the beach, sand, the water is a large body of water that would be emotion. And the great wave was building. A great wave of emotion was building. And my twin was running in front of me, ahead of me. And I was running, trying to keep up, but I couldn't. I kept falling. And he looked back and he saw me struggling. I kept running, but my feet kept sinking into the sand and I kept falling to my knees. And he turned around and he picked me up and he carried me. And even though it was more difficult for him to run carrying me, he would not leave me and he kept me. And he held me, and the wave came, and instead of drowning us, it lifted us. So it's about learning how to ride with the wave of emotion. We tried to outrun that wave. He tried to outrun that wave, but he couldn't. He came back and we rode it together. Now, clearly my twin's, he's bigger than me. He's taller than me, but it's talking about equal as far as spirituality, as far as growth, as far as vibrating on the same frequency, right? It was pretty cool. That's what I saw when I saw them. So right now, when you look at Callie, she's got those skulls all around her neck, and those are her past adversaries. Whether the adversaries are negative thoughts, belief systems, old toxic relationships, things that no longer were of benefit, that's what she wears around her neck. And she wears them with pride, because she recognized, this is my highest good, to cut that off, right? Cut that attitude, cut association off with that, cut this away from my diet, cut this away from my speech, cut this away from my belief system, cut this karmic tie, right? She's proud of herself to have understood, or himself, right? To have understood that. So it's about moving through cycles. And it could be overthinking, overanalyzing, which is something that I have been a club member to my whole life. She's very, very strong. She's extremely powerful. She's the mother goddess. So she has dealt with, and her specialty is dealing with issues to do with brothers and sisters, parents, teachers, and helping with painful transitions. So someone in your life may have passed. It may have been, that may have knocked you for a loop. One of your stalwart supporters. The past, that was your guide, that was your best friend, and they're gone. But there's someone else that's going to come and carry you. It's going to help you. It's going to be there for you, support you. It could be spirit, it could be a friend, like we watched with the dragonflies. Or maybe you're having very painful problems within your family arrangement, and unfortunately you have to cut away someone from your life at this time because it's toxic for you. And that may be the difficulty. Maybe that's hard for you to do, but at this time you know it has to be done. And this is what Callie comes forward to do. And that's why it may happen and it may hurt you and you may not want to have it happen, but it may be necessary. So when this message comes forward, there's no stopping it. It's already in motion. It's like the guillotine is dropping. There's no stopping it. Whatever it is, you need to let go. And you need to ask Callie to help you move through it. Whatever the emotions that you are going to have to deal with, because this change in your life is already in effect. So it's very powerful work, working with the goddess, the mother goddess. And she'll help you make the changes, because clearly it feels as though you've been resisting these changes, and we have to surrender. What you thought you couldn't do, or what you thought you weren't capable of. And as I said that, flying across his emotional waters comes the greatest white heron, because you are capable of doing anything you set your mind to. You see the opportunity and you move on the opportunity. See you moving across your emotional waters, even if you felt you couldn't do it, even if you felt it was too much for you. You are doing it. You're flying low over your emotional waters, but you're flying. And look at your bright light glowing, because you've listened. So don't fight what's happening. Surrender. Surrender to the changes. Can you do that? Can you walk forward and stop fighting what you have called in? This is purifying energy that's been in your life that's been extremely stagnant and stale and putrid, and bringing in positive energy. It's like the waves on the water, right? You throw a rock in the pond, there's going to be a ripple effect. You've called this in, and here comes the waves. And right now, maybe to you it feels like a great wave. So when the great wave comes, go to the mountain with the tablets. Moses went to the mountain. He went to the mountain to speak to his father. When he got to the mountain, he was given his tablets. That's wisdom, that's information. So go to your father. This is your father speaking to you right now. So listen to the wisdom you're being offered. And do what needs to be done. Walk forward and stop hesitating. And say yes to what's on the other side waiting for you, because your wishes are being fulfilled. This is about dying and coming back to life within this life without having to leave this planet. So what's our message for you guys? For me too, because I picked that, didn't I? Actually, these are all my messages. I don't know why I say that. And I'm super glad that for the first time this morning, I didn't start with calling out zodiac signs. I'm not doing that again. I did it last night even. I did it last night, and I said, stop that. It's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. It's a bad habit to think that every zodiac sign is the same. It's a bad habit to say, well, that's an Aries. I know what they're like. That's a Pisces. I know what they're like. That's a Leo. I know what they're like. No, you don't, because everybody's had a different life. Everybody's experiences and what they've gone through and how they look at things and what they choose makes them different. We get to choose to be different every single day. And even the person I was 2 years ago, I'm not who she was. I'm someone different, and so are you. So no zodiac signs here. There's a green dragonfly. Sorry, I wanted you guys to see it because it's literally lime green. It was a big one. That's good. So lime green, that's about love, and that's about healing. That's about growth, right? Wow, my daughter. I've been thinking about my daughter. So the answer to your question involves your daughter. Fuchsia. Remember I said, why don't I have fuchsias? My daughter is a fuchsia. Excuse me. Wow. So we got to clear the air. She's holding on to that fuchsia. What she's holding on to is the sweetness. That's where the if you pick these little flowers and you suck on the end of that, you get the honey. That's where they are. Your daughter's holding on. She's barely holding on. The answer to your question involves your daughter. My daughter's birthday is in October. I was already shown October is a very prominent month. I already know, 21 years, it's an anniversary for me. Her birthday's October 14th. 14th is a sign of temperance, patience. The answer to your question involves your daughter. Okay, well, for me, it sounds like a time frame, but it also sounds like the person that I'm dealing with has the same personality as my daughter. I've seen that, I know that. Which means they handle things in the same fashion, and they do. So how would I handle my daughter? What is required, right? So I kind of have to do the same thing that I have realized I need to do with my daughter. Boundaries, and yet coming from a place of love. So this is also telling you that there's someone in your life that could be like a daughter to you, and they're younger than you. It's most likely your daughter, but it could be like a soul family, right? And they're pivotal. They are pivotal aspect of what's going on. This one is very intuitive, and she knows how to help you. So there's someone in your life, maybe could be the age of your daughter, or could be your daughter, right? She's young enough to be your daughter. But she's intuitive. And it doesn't matter how young you think she is. She has information. She has information that you need to listen to. It's also telling you that you need to spend some time with your daughter. I know that. It's been way too long. I keep trying, but that means I'm going to try again. That's a sign from Spirit that this is try again, right? Because it strengthens the bond that you have with the ones that you care about. You need to spend time with the people you care about. Share that love, especially between parent and child. Also remember, no matter what's gone on, you're the mother. And what does a mother do? A mother mothers, right? A mother sets an example. A good mother does. A mother sets an example by walking her walk and talking her talk. And when you pour that loving energy in, especially into your own family, and right now at this time to this one that's like a daughter to you, that improves your own life, because when love goes out, love comes back. It's also telling you that right now someone who's like a daughter to you needs your attention. Now to me, I know who that is. That's this one. She started to eat again, but she needs my attention. She's my daughter in my house. It's also telling you that right now, if there's a young one in spirit, remember, Callie just came, right? This is a clarifier. And there was an ending. There was an ending. So did you have a difficulty between you and your daughter? Yes. Did someone like your daughter's, who was like a daughter to you, die? Was it a human? Was it your daughter? Was it a pet that was like a child to you? Because some people don't have human children. They have pets, and they are no different than a human child to them. Sometimes they're more important, because all they do is give you love. They don't give you grief. They're there for you all the time. So when you lose that one connection, an animal that was like a child to you, it's heartbreaking. And sometimes people don't understand how devastating it can be. It's just a dog. Just get another dog. You don't just replace a light. It's not like that. Everyone's unique, and what you've been through with that one, or what that one did for you, maybe that was the only one you had to hold on to. And they were there for you through everything. And they're gone. And that loss is huge, and you have to recognize that. Well, this is a message from that one, that they are with you in spirit. And I'm so grateful that I now know that that's a fact. That you can communicate with them, and they are communicating with you right now. They may come to you as an animal messenger. They show up. If there was an animal that this one loved or meant a lot to them, when they keep showing themselves, they're telling you, I love you, I'm here for you, do the right thing. I've got your back, I'm going to help you out, we're going to make this work. Make me proud of you. I have been proud of you, and I love you. You're forgiven. But do the right thing. Keep walking in the light. Keep reaching for the light. I'm reaching for you. Feel my presence with you. It could be someone that's like a granddaughter. This is about focusing on healing a parent-daughter relationship. Maybe you're the daughter and you need to heal the relationship to someone in spirit, and that's your parent. You know what? They love you. All they feel on the other side is love. There are no negative feelings anymore because they're enlightened. They're fully back into spirit 100%. They don't see through the lens of anything other than love. They see all your finest qualities. They know what will help you. They will guide you in the right direction. You can trust that. Don't think that you're being crazy to believe that you're being spoken to because you're not. It's also saying that anything that you're worried about concerning your daughter, hand that to Spirit. Say, I've surrendered it to Spirit. I've said, you help me. You help me with my daughter. You guys heard me say that the other day, right? I keep doing all that I can do, but now I want you to step in. The Spirit has wonderful ways of doing that. We don't know all the mysterious ways that Spirit works. Just surrender it to them. It also lets you know that if there's someone that's watching over your daughter, or somebody's with your daughter and you're concerned about that, don't be. You're fine. Also, if you are a female, this is telling you, you will receive a message from your mother. Okay, hold on. It's not just your mother. If you are a female, you may be receiving a message from your father. Oh, this is affecting me. Okay, so this is a really big message for someone. It's your father. And right now, the June bug showed up. See? He's right there. The June bug. The June bug represents a Gemini. Or a Cancer. Or a father who died of cancer. Or a mother who died of cancer. That was my mother, and she was a Gemini. No, she wasn't. She was a Cancer, but she was on the cusp. Wow, I didn't realize that until just now. My mom was a Cancer, but she was on the cusp of Gemini, and I have a Gemini rising. Think about that. Think about the symbology in that. I have a Gemini rising. Remember? That's my ascended master. Oh, God. So you have someone rising in spirit. They have ascended. And there's a wish right here. Make a wish right now. Ask them to help you bring that wish about. Can you see it? It's right here. I'm going to follow it until you can see it. It's right there. Make a wish. It's lasting for a long time for everybody to get it. What is it that you wish right now? More than anything. Make that wish. All of you. Now send it out to Spirit. Thank you. And look, they'll take it away. You know where they landed it? They landed it in the hothouse. In the tropical flower. In the gardens. It's going to grow. That wish is going to grow. Believe it. Wow, that was very, very... That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Mom. See, that was a message to me. I asked my mom to help me with my daughter. I helped my mom to ask me with my finances. I asked my mom to help me with my twin. But there's 5 wishes that are going to get fulfilled. So now we're going to go to Gumby. Hey, Gumby, what's up? You've been feeling like you've been pulled in a million different directions? Well, guess what? Assistance is here. You don't have to do it all by yourself because your best friend's here to help you. Just like that dragonfly that we watched. You guys are getting a message from the Magdalene Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno, one of my favorites. Tony came out with a deck recently, but I wasn't thrilled with it. It's like, I like the old school ones, you know? He's got new ones, but sometimes people start mass producing things, you know? And they're not as good as when they began. Mass production is not good. I like old school. That's why I like antiques. I like the trusted and tried and true, you know? This is one of my oldest decks and I love it. It holds a lot of energy. A lot of energy of mine in it. And you know what's interesting is the cards have held up. Like, look at this deck. It looks really nice. And I've used it for years. Whereas the Oracle of Shadows and Light and the Shapeshifters and a lot of my other decks, they bend, they break. This is a good card stock, but it's just telling you too that the energy in this particular deck is very, very powerful. It's positive energy. I probably used this deck. You know why? I used this when I got this deck. I think I was in Sedona. I was in a really good space, you know? Sedona is a very, very sacred place for me. It's a healing place. And I had so many downloads. That's why I go to Sedona. That's where I get downloads in. So the energy coming from these cards, you guys, it's good. It feels good. It feels good to even shuffle them. Okay, at 59 minutes, your message. Crucifixion. That's interesting. Well, you know when somebody's crucified, they're hung out to dry. Now, why are they in a forest? That forest looks like the wildwood. I'm not afraid of that forest. I love that forest. There's a light. There's a pathway down here. It's very small because this forest is very dense, but the light is coming in everywhere. You know what it looks like to me? It looks like the road to Flagstaff from Sedona. My friend Bill and I went up to the Grand Canyon, and it started to snow, and it was the most incredible. It was a winter wonderland. It was incredible, but because the forest got very dense, and it's like this is where the snow just begins, starts to fall. That's a beautiful day. In front of us, we had great horn ram walking right. It was amazing. It was amazing. I mean, for me to see my totem, I don't think at the time I even recognized how powerful of a message that was to me. I was seeing myself at the top of the mountain. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. When the great wave comes, go to the mountain. At the top of the mountain, that's the mountain. I knew it was Sedona. Oh, wow. I started knowing it was Sedona, and I kept going back and going to different places. Because why did Moses go to the top of the mountain? He went to speak to his father, and that's where he got his information that was so vital. He was handed information, the tablets. And you know, my friend Bill, when I said, what does it mean? What do you think it means? He came back. My friend Bill that went with me there, he said, you know, they call the tablet, the tableau, the tablets, the mountains there in Sedona. When the great wave comes, go to Sedona, Sherry. God. So right now, what Spirit is telling you is you are torturing yourself. You're suffering. You're beating yourself up, and you're thinking that there's something that you need to change about yourself before you can have what you want, before you can be happy and at peace and fulfilled. You've been hiding parts of yourself that you feel are unacceptable, or that you didn't want to look at, that you didn't like. You've been doing it probably most of your life. You don't think that part of you is lovable. But those things inside of you that you try and hide, that you try and shove down, they come up. They keep coming up in different ways. They come up because you need to look at them. You need to face them. You need to accept that part of you. And then you need to love that part of you. Because it's part of you. We can't hate a part of ourselves and expect to be whole. If you could just learn how to love yourself as you are, then you've got the world in front of you. You've stopped blocking yourself. You've got possibilities. Because inside of you, Spirit sees a star. You are a star, but you've got your back turned to yourself, don't you, Happy Buddha? You need to turn around and realize who you really are. See yourself as the star that others see you as. Allow that light in yourself to shine. And when you do that, when you come from a truthful, authentic self, and you shine that light out, the truth of who you are out, then people love you for who you are, not for who you've been pretending to be. You draw towards you authentic people, people that vibrate on your frequency, because you're telling the truth about who you are. This is me. Why would you want to put on a facade? Because everybody that comes to you is going to be fake then. Do you not realize that? When you hide who you are and you pretend to be something else, all you attract is fake. You will never have real love. You will never have real truth. You will never have real friends. You will never have real success because you're fake. We attract who we are. People will love you as you are. There's someone for everyone, and that's a truth. So Spirit wants you to shine your light. Pay attention to what you say about yourself. Pay close attention over the next few weeks. And every time you catch yourself saying something negative, change it. Transform it into something positive. Whenever you think something fearful, send love to it. Until you break that cycle. Like with me, I didn't start with, what sign will this be? I broke that pattern. It wasn't a good pattern. I didn't like it. It wasn't working with my higher self. I'm not giving you your messages. Your higher self is giving you your messages through Spirit. How could I choose the sign for you and have you get an accurate message? You would get information you needed, but truthfully, as a teacher, I'm supposed to teach you how to use and trust your intuition. So you choose your messages. Then you get a very poignant message. So the messages that people are getting, if you don't like your message that you're getting, your higher self is giving you a message that you refuse to look at. So if you chose this message, this is your information. And it's going to take time to break patterns and cycles. It does. Doesn't mean that you have to put your life on hold until you do it. It just means that's what you're working on. We all have stuff we have to work on. Until the day we go back to spirit, we're working on stuff. We're never going to get it all right. And we're never going to get it done. Because if we did, we wouldn't have a reason to be here anymore. So dedication, perseverance, sticking with it. Yes, effort, but it's going to be worth it. So what is your message from the magical fairies? My message is I need a drink of my smoothie. Hold on. So we've had a lot of animal messengers today. Remember, you guys, the June bug? The June bug gives you different dates. So I'll post the June bug's full message along with this reading so that you can see. But you need to pay attention over the next 2 or 3 days. And as I say that, there comes the white heron again, another one. Coming in for a landing. It's coming on top of the roof of the boathouse. Oh, you can't, can you come to the top, come to the top. See him just kind of peeking his head over the top. Actually, that's a snowy egret. It's not a crane, but same family. It's a smaller version. So over the next 2 to 3 days, pay attention to what happens. And then the next 5 to 6 days, I think it's 5 to 6, or maybe it's 3 to 5. And then over the next few weeks, I think on the 4th week, it comes to fruition. So in a month. That's the June bug's message. Crane, we all know. You see an opportunity that others don't see. You know how to act on it. You can make something out of the opportunity. You don't care what other people think. You don't dance to other people's drum. You're not worried about keeping up with the Joneses. People might think you're eccentric, strange, different, and you are. You're fantastic. You're awesome. What else did we see? The spider, creativity. Spider, weaving your own web, right? Knowing which cords were supposed to be cut. That one was swinging away from something, right? He was on one long strand, getting away from something. We were supposed to do that, and that's what was happening with Callie. What else did we see? The dragonfly, sitting, the little one, growth, right? Sexual energy, creativity, something new on the horizon. The 2 black dragonflies, black. Accept the darkness in your soul. Love it. Without shadow, there is no light. There were two of them, and both of them were black, right? Maybe black ops. So maybe it's secrecy, maybe it's quiet, maybe it's staying in the shadows right now, but they're supporting each other. Dragonfly says, hold on to your dreams. Pay very close attention to what your dreams are telling you. Also, don't let go of your dreams. If you let a dream go, go back after it. Resurrect your dream. Is it time to go after something that you have let die? Because you've got backup, you've got support, right? You deserve to have your dreams fulfilled. And then the wish that flew by. Pretty freaking cool. All right, here's your message. Holiday. I'm going to Sedona. Holiday. The answer you're looking for can be found during a vacation, retreat, holiday, or getaway. And look at her dancing on the water. She's dancing on her emotional waters. And look at that green hill. Oh, I love it. Lush. Holiday. I so want a holiday. I've been saying this for such a long time. Holiday. I go back and forth about where I'm supposed to go. Sedona, mountains, Wisconsin. I wouldn't hesitate to go to Wisconsin. I wouldn't hesitate at all. If I had a ticket, I'd be out. So, Spirit's basically saying a holiday, it doesn't even have to be somewhere else. It can be in your own backyard. What it's primarily focusing on is rest and relaxation. Now, it could be that you get an answer in another place. It could be that. You're being urged to take time off. That's a fact. You need to clear your mind. You need to figure out what your next move is going to be. Whatever it is that comes to you on this break, it's worth the time, the investment, and the money. Now, that's interesting. I wonder if I didn't buy that that iPod, because I'm going to put a ticket on my credit card instead. I did that last year. I put my ticket on my credit card and I paid it off because I don't have anything else on my credit card, right? I don't know. This could be a family holiday, like a family get-together, a family reunion. And as I say that, I see the dragonfly above the palm tree. Palm tree is a prickly tree. It's not real easy to hug that tree. It's strong, though. It moves. It's bendable. It doesn't break. It could be a very strong family tree, very strong family that is not maybe emotionally demonstrative. They're beautiful, they're tall, they're noticeable, but they're a little bit prickly. But they are strong. Ooh, and as I say that, 2 doves came in one direction and 2 doves came in the other, and they joined together. That's interesting. That was interesting. So, it could be this family get-together could bring about a very, very important healing. It could be that Spirit saying you should take a class somewhere, maybe in a different location. Oh my God, when I said that, all the doves flew. That group, that group, that group, they all came together and joined. So that's a really good message. That's a really loud message. All of one kind coming together. Wow. So these 3 are going this way, and that huge group went, but they're all coming together. They're all going in the same direction. All of them. So basically, it's about coming together with like-minded ones. So that is a very loud message for somebody. If you were thinking about taking a course or coming together on with like-minded ones, that was like the biggest sign that I could probably ever see. It's talking about maybe visiting a power place. Well, that's Sedona, right? That's a power place. So is Sturgeon Bay. There's vortexes there. Interesting. It's also telling you that what you've been praying for will be answered during maybe a holiday. God, there we go again. Halloween, Hanukkah, Christmas, Thanksgiving. Those are the ones I can think of right now. Whatever you're worried about the holiday, don't. Whatever your concern is about having the holiday and how it's supposed to happen, how you can achieve it, where to go, how to afford it, the time off, the lodging, everything. Hand that to Spirit and say, you figure it out. So I'm saying that right now. Spirit, you know I need this, so you figure it out. All the details. And then throw it in my lap, and I'll do it. Right? We're going to ask Spirit to help arrange it. Pay for it. For me and my loved one. And then the final message is, go on a retreat. Wow. Okay. Loud, loud, loud. So now, the last message is coming to you all from, this is going to be Pokey. Pokey's coming forward. Well, he's bringing Gumby wherever he goes, so that's interesting. That's a message too. Wherever Pokey goes, Gumby goes. Okay, correct for neutrality on all levels. Because they're a team. Now, whoever Pokey and Gumby represent to you, you could be a team with Spirit, right? You could be a team with your loved one, whether they be in the flesh or in spirit. But wherever it is, they're saying, you guys, we're on each other's team. Where you go, I go. Ooh, I think about that with Ruth and Moab in the Bible. Where you go, I go, also. Okay. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Correct for neutrality on all levels. She said that to Naomi. Ruth, didn't she? Where you go, I shall go also. Wow. That's soul family too, you know? That was soul family. Correct for neutrality on all levels. It's funny how the Bible things pop up in my mind. Stuff I haven't thought about for a long time. Ooh, hello. Who are you? Oh, okay, when I said that, that little orange dragonfly that was sitting up on the palm frond, when I said that, funny how the Bible things pop up when I haven't thought about it in such a long time. And right then, that particular little orange dragonfly that's been sitting on that palm tree all this time came flying in, right in to say, hello, it's me. And now he's sitting on, oh, so now I know he's a he. Interesting. What do you want me to know? Funny how the Bible things come back to me. Bible things come back to me. Somebody, a religious person, a male, is connecting with me, giving me information that's important. It is important. I learned a lot of valuable lessons from the Bible. You know what's interesting? I can't even see him even though I'm looking right at him. He's disappeared into the palm tree because that's who he is. He's that prickly palm that's so hard to hug. I'm connecting with a masculine figure, a spiritual figure, a religious person. And you know what it's telling me? I'm not a religious person, but we have a lot in common. Because a lot of the things I was taught from the Bible, I emulate and I stand by and I believe in. So it's showing the similarities. You might be a prickly palm. You were part of a strong family. It's difficult for you to show your feelings. And there's a difference in religions. We have a difference in our religious upbringing, that we have more in common than we do not. I got the message. Okay, your message is coming from Alice the Wonderland. Now isn't that interesting? Alice the Wonderland? Not Alice of Wonderland or in Wonderland, but Alice the Wonderland. She is the Wonderland. I think about, what's that guy's name? You know the Ghost Whisperer? Can't remember her name. She went out with the guy, the singer. He has a song right now called Light. You see me in a different light. If you give me a chance, you'll see me in a different light. What the heck's his name? I love the song. Anyway, she dated him and he wrote a song for her. Your body is a wonderland. Remember that? This is Alice the Wonderland. That's how he felt about her. To him, her body was the wonderland. I like that. Okay, so, all right, we don't need that? Okay, we're gonna have Gumby hold it up instead. Right now, this is talking about the impossible. What is impossible, what seems impossible is possible. And what feels like it can't happen, can happen, and will happen. So, impossible things. This is about working through disbelief, imaginative leaps, and a fresh perspective. Well, you see all kinds of cool totems here. We see the butterflies. We see a rocking horse that is also a butterfly. So, the horse is the butterfly. The best friend, Phoebe. The horse is the best friend. And a butterfly. And they're spiritual, because look at their mane, their purple mane. And it's interesting because look at this little dragon down here that's green. Oops, sorry. See the little dragon right down here that's green? And the horse that's the butterfly. They're best friends. So who are we looking at here? We're looking at the same people. We're looking at the dragon who's been pulled in a million different directions. I mean, that's me. And this horse right here, who is the full transformation, the spiritual butterfly, that's my best friend. And they work, that's why everywhere they go together. They work as a team. Look at all the transformation. 3 ascended masters working with you. You know what's really cool? Is there's someone else that has gone into spirit. That was this one's best friend. Because there's the horse, and they're working. So now for me, this is a personal message. This is a personal message because that horse represents my grandmother. It also shows me that this one has a female that was their support, that was just like them, or a male that was just like them, a support system. And that's them in spirit right there. They've transformed. But they're right there with you, right above you, guiding you. And they're with their partner. Look at that. There's another butterfly above them. That's a really big message, you guys. Really, really big. Really, really big. So we've got 3 butterflies here. 4 butterflies. 5, 6. Don't be so worried about the material, because you know what? The material world is actually an illusion. See past the illusion and see the reality that spirit is actually the real. This is the dream. We are so connected to spirit. And notice that her hair tie, her hairband going right across her crown is turquoise. The color of, it's the color of the sea and the sky mixed together. Like beryl crystal, aquamarine, turquoise. It's my soul color. I love it. So major transformation. There's so many messages coming in this card, I can't even tell you. That's amazing. So maybe you're doubting. Alice says, there's no use trying. One can't believe impossible things. But the Queen says, I dare say you haven't had much practice. When I was your age, I always did it for half an hour a day. Sometimes I've received and believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. So you're not doing it right. Because instead of saying, I can't, you should be saying, I can. And what feels impossible to you will happen if you believe that it can. All you have to do is believe. So the viewpoint from this one and the Queen is vastly different. So you're being asked to believe in something that seems impossible to you right now. To you, it would take a miracle for it to happen. To believe that that's something so wonderful could possibly be the truth. But you need to discipline your mind. You need to start practicing in what you feel is impossible. Every day, choose one thing that you think is impossible and say it has happened. Say thank you for whatever it is. Right now, like it's happened. If you could spend half an hour a day, if you could start with 10 minutes a day and keep saying that, thank you, and state whatever it is that you were wishing for, that you were wanting, that you feel is impossible, as if it happened. And you were saying thank you for it, and how much you enjoy it, and visualize what it looks like. You know what feels impossible to me? And I know it's not impossible, but what feels impossible to me is that my twins' family will accept me and allow me to be part of that family and open their arms. That feels impossible to me. But I know nothing's impossible for spirit. I know that. I know it's possible. I believe it. That's my intention. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I believe it. So maybe for you, is it financial situations? Is it the relationship that you've longed for? Is it a health concern that you don't see the way out of? For yourself or for someone else? What do you wish to improve? Spend time and focus on that. And start believing impossible things. Now, if you're working with this in a positive light, you're struggling with what's something that feels like it's unlikely to happen. So you're going to just then do that. You're going to spend some time trying to improve the situation or the vision of it, something that you care about, something that you want to become better than it is right now. You're going to meditate on it and you're going to believe that it's going to happen. If you are not working with spirit, then you're stubbornly refusing to believe anything that you do at all is going to make a difference. There's no point in believing that. There's no point in dreaming about that. There's no point in visualizing that. It's not going to change anything. Okay, then you are staying stuck because you choose to stay there. If you think that it's out of your reach and that miracles are reserved for other people and not you, you're making that choice, not spirit. You're not getting your miracle because it's not possible or that you don't deserve it. You're not getting it because you're denying it. You are having it handed to you and you're pushing it away. Don't push away what your soul's longing for. Embrace it. Famous words. Put your money where your mouth is. Walk your walk and talk your talk. Correct for neutrality on all levels. What message is the final message? Woo, stubborn, stubborn. These did not want to go together. Fighting it. Sometimes we fight what we fear. We fear that if we put our belief in it and it doesn't happen, we won't survive it. But you're never going to get anywhere if you focus on the fear and on what you can't have. I can have anything I want. I can do anything I want. I'm going to have a brand new MacBook. Yes, I am. I'm going to have enough money to go on my vacation and not have to worry about it. It's going to be taken care of for me. I'm not even going to have to stress about it. It's just going to be handed to me. And my body is changing. It's interesting. My daughter and I have the same issue with our arms, you know. And she's like, it's too late, Mom. There's no way. You can't change that besides surgery. And I said, yes, I can. I can do anything I set my mind to. My body works for me. Okay, well, I've been doing it and it's not working. And I'm like, well, it's going to work for me. My body responds, tells it what I want it to do. If I'm going to be lifting weights, my body's going to do what it's supposed to do. And it is. Correct for neutrality on all levels. All right, here we go. Last message. Healer, heal thyself, right? Okay, you are a healer. So, use your healing abilities in this situation. Use your healing abilities to heal yourself. You can do anything you set your mind to. You are a powerful healer. Also, you can heal a situation between your family, between your friends. You can heal your situation at work. You can heal anything. Love heals. Anything and everything. Bullies, angry people, jealous people, sad people, scared people, love heals everything. It's also telling you that this situation is being healed by spirit at this moment. Healing energy surrounds you and this situation. You don't have to do it all. Remember, we thought a lot of times that it was us that had to do something to make it happen, but a lot of times spirit just says, look, you know what? This is what we want you to do. We want you to go on a retreat. We want you to practice believing in miracles. We want you to accept yourself as you are. Love yourself now. We want you to trust us. We want you to come to us. We want you to believe the messages that you're getting, act on the information, and anything else outside of your control, we want you to surrender and let us take care of it, because we can and we will. So the prayers that you've sent out through your tears, they've been heard. They have been answered. They have been answered. Sometimes we don't see it happening, just like I said. The mail was delivered. I hadn't gotten the key to get into my box. Well, what is the key? Sometimes it's just belief. Sometimes it's just surrender. Sometimes it's just faith. But it's been delivered, whatever it is. As I was brought up before, maybe you're supposed to be taking a course. Maybe that's the group, all those coming together, the like-minded ones. Maybe you're supposed to ask for prayers for healing. I've done that. Look, someone's going through this or going through that. Would you please send healing energy? And everybody in the United Collective sends it together. You don't think that's power? That's power. Right now, if you've been concerned about someone in your life, they are receiving healing at this time. They are experiencing healing at this time. You may not have been in contact with them, but they're healing. And in reality, whatever the situation that's been troubling you, it has already been healed in spirit. It just has to be accepted, believed, or seen through with the steps. Remember the cherry on top? Maybe there's a couple things that you need to do, and you're refusing to do them, or hesitating, or procrastinating. And if you would just do it, you would see that the situation is already healed. So a lot of times it's removing your own doubt and moving forward. Stop being trapped in fear. Maybe right now you need to take a course on massage therapy, Reiki healing, crystal therapy, brain gym therapy, acupuncture. I don't know. There's all kinds of different healing modalities that you could work with. Maybe you need to read something about healing, holistic remedies. You already know that you're supposed to be working with flower essential oils and flower essences. Maybe there's a flower essence that you need to take a tincture in your water, or maybe there's an essential oil that you need to put in your diffuser for your house, for your room, to calm the energy, to stimulate appetite, whatever it is. I said that for Lily. I don't want to stimulate my appetite, so we have to figure out something different. I would say calming energy, because when you're calm and relaxed, things start to flow a lot easier. But that's it, you guys. All that's required right now is trust, surrender, action if necessary. Open your eyes and believe. And say thank you. Thank you for that healing. Thank you for healing this situation. I asked for that, didn't I? I asked for that yesterday. Actually, I didn't ask for it. I just thanked Spirit for it. I said, thank you for bringing a healing to this situation. Thank you for bringing a healing between my twin and his family. Thank you for healing the situation between us, for all of us. Thank you for healing the situation between my daughter and I. That's what we do. We just say thank you. Because in all reality and truth, it's there. We just have to emulate that. We have to be in that energy. That's how we are in the flow. That's how we get into the vortex. By believing we're there. Because we are. The block is just in our mind. All right, you guys, at 1 hour and 30 minutes and 31 seconds, we're at a wrap. I love you.